Hey everyone, how's it going? For today's video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the all-new 2019 Ram 1500. In this review, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs from performance and capabilities to interior features, pricing, and so much more. I'll also take it for a thorough drive and show you many of the unique aspects throughout the interior as well as exterior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. Also, be sure to check out my feature on the new YouTube channel Truck Central covering the top 10 things you need to know about this truck. The link is in the description box below. By now, you've probably heard quite a lot about the all-new Ram 1500, which has been completely redesigned from the ground up. So much stuff has changed in creating what is now regarded by most as the benchmark of the segment. Everything from the suspension to the powertrains, interior, body and bed, and more receive significant revisions, so try to keep up, we have a lot to talk about. For starters, the new Ram takes advantage of more lightweight materials throughout its chassis and body structure. You'll find things like high-strength steel, aluminum, and composites dispersed throughout. Despite being longer and wider than its predecessor, the new Ram actually weighs about 225 pounds less. 120 pounds of that comes from the chassis. Ram claims this is the longest, lightest, and most efficient frame in the half-ton segment. Improvements in torsional rigidity lead to better stability and handling, while new C-pillar hydraulic body mounts improve ride quality and comfort. The frame is actually stronger than any Ram half-ton to date. It's made of 98% high-strength steel. Clever engineering is packed throughout to actually improve safety too, such as frame-mounted high-steel tire blockers behind the front tires that force the wheels outward in the event of a front-end collision. The majority of the body is also made of high-strength steel. Like before, the hood is aluminum, but now the tailgate is as well. It not only saves some weight, but it packs a damping function when opening and a lift assist feature. The latch and lock mechanism is also electronic. You can open it from the back, from the interior, or from the key fob. Weight savings play a big role with any new vehicle's development. It can affect things like fuel economy, drivability, and in this case, capability. That being said, the new Ram is a lot more capable than its predecessor, with a max payload of 2,320 pounds and a max trailer towability of 12,700 pounds. Those are improvements of 430 pounds and 3,540 pounds respectively. Of course, all of that depends on how the truck is configured between the different body and bed configurations, engines, and whether you go for two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. This particular example, which is a crew cab with the 5'7" bed, it has four-wheel drive and 3.92 gears and can tow 11,290 pounds and haul 1,800 pounds. Let's be honest, Ram absolutely knocked it out of the park with the styling of this truck. The detailing, the curvature, it's very nice looking, but it's also a lot more aerodynamically efficient with a 9% drop in the coefficient of drag. This has several key benefits, especially with fuel economy and interior noise. If you don't get the optional air suspension, when the truck gets up to 35 miles an hour, there's a standard active front air dam that automatically extends down about 2.5 inches. In case the dam ever comes in contact with something, there's a clutch release system to help prevent damage. If you get the air suspension, when you get on the highway, the truck automatically lowers by 0.6 inches. There's some other clever aero bits too, such as active grille shutters. When extra cooling isn't needed, such as on a highway, the shutters will close and allow air to pass over, around, and underneath the truck, and not allow air to swirl around in the engine bay, creating unnecessary turbulence. They'll also help reduce warm-up times by allowing the truck to get up to operating temperatures quicker, helping improve fuel economy a bit and cold start emissions. The new hood is raised up a little bit to allow air to pass more effectively over the cowl, and the roof is designed to create a Venturi effect. The tailgate has a built-in spoiler, the bed rails are about 1.5 inches higher, and the bed is sub-flush to the body to reduce turbulence across the sides. Pricing ranges from $31,695 all the way up to $55,485. Now that's before options and destination. What you see here is a Laramie, which starts at $40,690, but as equipped, a crew cab with the short bed and a bunch of different options, it's $52,620 all in. Hey everyone, so over the last couple of weeks I've been trying out these pretty sweet wiper blades from a company called Scrub Blade. What makes them different from traditional wiper blades is that the people over at Scrub Blade listened and met the needs of drivers by designing a wiper blade that helps sweep away debris for a more particle and smear-free result. Not sure about you, but rain is not the only thing that hits my windshield. The Scrub Blade features 2 rubber blades that each serve a distinct function. The lead blade contains hundreds of raised, triangle-shaped ridges to loosen debris such as bugs, dirt, and dust. The second inside blade acts as a squeegee to sweep away everything and finish the job. I've been pretty impressed by how well they've worked on my truck, both in the dry and the wet. So stop by your local AutoZone or check them out online and pick up a set of Scrub Blade wipers for your vehicle today. The Laramie is offered with 3 different wheel and tire packages ranging from 18 to 22 inches in diameter. This example features the optional 20 by 9 inch part polished alloys and they're wrapped in 275/60 all-season tires. For 2019, Ram has given the 1500 the largest front brake rotors in the segment, with a diameter of 14.9 inches. The rear discs span 14.8 inches. They're clamped down by 2 piston calipers in front and single piston calipers in the rear. As expected, they provide a lot of bite. The 1500 continues to feature electric power steering, but this is a next generation system that reduces weight by 6 pounds and includes tuning for lighter and quicker steering. The overall ratio for a 4-wheel drive short bed is 16.3 to 1, and the steering takes about 3.1 turns to lock. The turning circle for a 4-wheel drive short bed truck with 20-inch wheels is 46.2 feet. Across the board, it really is quite incredible how refined trucks are getting, and the Ram is no exception. When you're behind the wheel, it doesn't even feel like a truck, more like a big SUV, very refined. It handles great for what it is, and it's easy to maneuver, especially at low speeds. Another thing that's new for 2019 is an electronic parking brake, which saves about 20 pounds over the previous mechanical system. Now for my favorite thing about the Ram, it continues to be the only truck in its segment to offer a 4-corner air suspension. It's an optional feature that unfortunately wasn't equipped on this example. The air suspension offers both load leveling capability and 5 height settings to choose from. They can raise or lower the truck beyond its standard ground clearance to improve off-road performance or to improve ingress and egress. The Ram is already one of the best handling and riding trucks that you can buy with its double wishbone front suspension and 5-link rear suspension. But by swapping out the progressive race springs for air springs, it just adds icing to the cake. It's exceptionally comfortable and it's really impressive how it just soaks up the road imperfections. There's some other cool features packed with the air suspension as well, and I highly suggest you go and check those out, but it does offer the lowest step-in height. If you slam it all the way down, it's just 20.9 inches off the ground. And in the highest off-road setting, you get as much as 10.1 inches of ground clearance, which is just awesome. Not to mention, if you plan on taking your truck off-road, Ram is offering a new off-road package for the 1500. The changes aren't quite as aggressive as the Ram Rebel, but it gives the standard truck just a little bit more capability. The new Ram's going to be offered with 2 engines, either a 305 horsepower 3.6 liter V6 or a 395 horsepower 5.7 liter Hemi V8, both of which are paired to 8-speed automatic transmissions. The biggest news here is the e-torque system, which replaces a traditional alternator with a belt-driven motor generator, effectively creating a mild hybrid system. E-torque isn't going to be made available until later this year, so unfortunately it wasn't equipped on this example, but let's go ahead and cover the basics. E-torque has several different responsibilities, but the most important is providing short bursts of torque at the low end. Peak torque for the V6 is 269 pound-feet, and for the V8 it's 410 pound-feet. e-torque does not affect those numbers because it's all developed at the low end. Basically what it's doing is broadening the torque curve, so in this case where it matters the most is with towing. If you're towing a heavy load and can get a little bit of extra grunt before the engine starts developing its peak torque, it'll help out a whole lot. That being said, e-torque adds about 90 pound-feet of torque to the V6 and about 130 pound-feet to the V8, which should really get you up and going. While the engine is running, the motor generator continuously feeds current to a 430 watt-hour lithium-ion battery pack. It's air-cooled about the size of a suitcase and is mounted to the rear wall inside the cabin. Even though there's no alternator, there is a conventional 12-volt starter motor basically used for cold starts and the first start of the day due to its greater efficiency in extreme temperatures. Along with providing the necessary juice to restart the engine once it's warm, the e-torque unit also recaptures energy during deceleration and braking to provide additional charge to the battery. E-torque's going to be offered on both engines, but if for some reason you don't want it, the Hemi will be offered without it at the buyer's discretion. But it's innovation like this that really makes me excited to be an auto enthusiast this day and age. Something else has to be said about the performance of that Hemi V8. It's very strong for this segment. It's quite a fast truck, and it sounds awesome thanks to that standard dual exhaust system. I love how the pipes are integrated into the bumper. Like before, the electronically controlled 8-speed automatic is operated via a rotary dial in the dash. If you go for 4-wheel drive, the controls are located around the dial in easy-to-use push-button fashion. As far as fuel economy, because this example does not have the e-torque system yet, you can expect about 15 miles per gallon in the city and 22 miles per gallon for the Hemi V8. Mid-grade fuel is recommended for optimum performance, but 87 octane is acceptable. A 26-gallon tank is standard, but a 33-gallon extended range tank is also optional. Before wrapping everything up, let's talk about the interior. Honestly, you can make an entire video on just the interior because it is absolutely incredible, especially when you start getting into the upper trim levels, Laramie, Laramie Longhorn, and the Laramie Limited. It is downright luxurious. One of the most luxurious truck interiors I've ever seen. The Laramie offers a great combination of features and build quality and comfort. Nothing too over the top, but you still get a whole lot of nice stuff packed in there. I mean, just look at the detailing. There's accent stitching, piping, intricate perforations, and even some suede accenting on the doors and seats. The seats are extremely comfortable, there's a lot of interior room, and you are surrounded by all of the latest technology from a reconfigurable instrument cluster to various infotainment options, heated and cooled seats, and more, but the only thing missing is a massage feature. Plus, the new Ram offers nearly 100% more storage capacity within its interior than its closest competitor, including the super sweet reconfigurable center console with a tremendous amount of space. Towards the front, you have a spot to set some smartphones, as well as some USB and auxiliary inputs, a CD drive, and a power outlet towards the bottom. Of course, with all FCA products nowadays, there's some sort of Easter egg in there. Underneath the console lid, you have a bunch of conversion tables, Pythagorean theorem, and more. It's super cool, and in the very bottom, I forgot to get a clip of it, but it actually shows the lineage of Ram trucks over the years. Continuing on, you have some space on top of the dash as well as large pockets across the door panels. On the passenger side, you have a 2-tier glove box. Along with 6 airbags throughout the interior, the new Ram is packed with a seemingly endless list of standard safety features. There's also a bunch of newly available driver assistance technologies too, such as adaptive cruise control with stop and go, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, even parallel and perpendicular park assist, and that just scratches the surface. One particular thing that I wanted to highlight for this video was the infotainment options. There's 3 different systems available depending on the trim level. On the lower end models, you have a 5-inch display. This one has the new 8.4-inch capacitive touch display, but at the top end is a 12-inch display. Tesla still has everybody beat as far as the sheer size of their screen, but it's pretty cool seeing this kind of technology migrate to a pickup truck of all things. I really hope I get a chance to spend some extra time with the larger display. It's packed with exclusive options and features, and is highly customizable. If that wasn't enough, there's a handful of different audio systems. The two that stand out though are the 10-speaker 506-watt Alpine system found in this example, and the optional 19-speaker 900-watt Harman Kardon surround sound system, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's also worth mentioning just how quiet the interior of the new Ram is. You have these things called electronically controlled side frame mounted active chassis tuned mass modules. Whew, that's a mouthful. Try to say that 5 times in a row. All you need to know is that they further improve NVH levels, and on V8 models, it works in harmony with an interior active noise cancellation system to lower ambient sounds down to 67.1 decibels, making this the quietest Ram 1500 ever. All of those aerodynamic improvements that I talked about earlier also help with this, along with standard acoustic glass. I'm sure that pretty much everybody would agree that trucks nowadays are less utilitarian and more multi-purpose vehicle, oftentimes being considered over an SUV just for the extra practicality of having the open bed without having to sacrifice on comfort and luxurious amenities. The Ram is a great example of this. The back seat is cavernous. Without comparing dimensions, just of what I can remember of past experiences, the back seat feels class leading when it comes to leg space and head space. There's also a ton of amenities back there. The floor is completely flat, which is really nice because you can flip up the back seat and have a bunch of extra storage space back there, but you can also recline the seat now. Now let's go ahead and see how she sounds. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2019 Ram 1500. Be sure to stay tuned next time, leave a like and subscribe today if you haven't already. There's always a lot more where that came from. Take care everyone.